Hi, welcome to Coding Ultimate Guide. In this tutorial, we are going to learn Lambda function in Python. Python Lambda function are anonymous function, means that the function is without a name. As we already know that the def keyword is used to define a normal function in Python. Similarly, the lambda keyword is used to define a anonymous function in Python. The syntax is lambda, then you can pass any number of argument, but that return only given one expressions. So here in the example I return three arguments. The arguments are arguments 1, argument 2 and arguments 3, but only return a single expressions, and that keyword is used to a lambda keyword. And this function can have any number of argument, but only return only one given expressions. And let's say for example I have a string called hello world, and that returns a function object. So as I told you that lambda function is keyword with the lambda keyword, and that takes an argument which is my string. But here I take only one argument, but you can give any number of argument, and that return a single expression which is my string, and trying to print the string here. And and in the last, that is my string which is my object, and you can initialize the object if this object is already initializations. So if I run this, it will return with the output as an hello world. Alright, in the second example I have a variable x1 that contains the value which is also that is hello world, and that take a lambda keyword. Like I told you that lambda function is always use a lambda keyword, and that take one argument which is my x, and my expression is print x1, and x1 is my expression. I'm trying to print the value which is x1, and here in the last x1 is my object which is my hello world, and that take the object, and that take an argument which is x, and that return the single expressions. If I also run, it will give me the same output. This is hello world. And as we know that, let's say for example without using the lambda function, uh, generally we use the function. Let me comment it out the second one. Generally we use the function like we give a function name and take an argument which is y, and return an expression, and my expression is y cube, y into y into y, and again I print the cube which is my function, and calling the function name and passing the argument which is my y value is 5. Generally we give a function in Python just like this. If I run this, it give me the output 5 into 5 into 5, that is my value is 125. We can also use the same expression using the lambda function. Let me comment out this one and uncomment this one. Here is my lambda cube is my variable, and I use the this is my lambda keyword, and I creating it. This is my y is my argument, and y cube, y into y into y, this is my expression. So if I'll print the lambda cube function here, and 5 is my argument, and if I print the same, it will give me the same output. Done, giving me the same output. Also, we can use the lambda function with the list compression method. For example, let's say if we create a new line, let's say here a variable is tables equal to lambda, take an argument which is my x, let's say equal to x, 10 for x in range say 1 to 11. Okay, let me get for table in tables 10 table, and table is my function. If I run this, it give me the output agent, the the x value of multiply of 10. So if my x value that range from 1 to 11, and 11 will not be count, because as you know that range function will count the, that is our number, last number minus 1, that is 11 minus 1, the range will go from 1 to 10. And if in the x value, when the x value is 1, that will be, output will be 1 into 10, the output will be 10. And x value is 2, the output will be 20. And up to x value is 10, the output will be 100. All right. So so also I can use the lambda function as a least compression method. This is called as a least compression. All right. So next example. For example, let's say a lambda function can be used along with built-in function like filter, map, and reduce function. So for example, let's say talk about the filter function. The filter function in Python takes in a function and a list as argument. This offers an elegant way to filter out all the elements of a sequence. For example, if I have a variable h and that contain the list elements, and my elements are 13, 15, 18, 20, 45, 67, and 70. And what I'm trying to do, to check if my age is greater than the 18 or not. So that's what trying to do a filter age using the lambda function. So I can do, like say I told you, that I can also use the filter function here. So what I did is, so I take an argument which is my age, and expression is age greater than 18, and here the edges is my object, and the object is my this list element. Okay. So and I then so if you have a filter wise or map wise, or reduce wise, you have to give a filter. So in the filter case you have to filter, in the map case you have to do map, or in the reduce case you have to give a reduce function. All right. Then again I convert a typecasting that into the list, because filter that given a uh, filter object, that give a lambda object. If I am trying to do to convert the lambda object to the list object. Okay. So here I do the typecasting. So as I discussed in the last session how to do a typecasting. So if you do not know, then go and watch in the previous session, and I also mention in that session in the group descriptions. So here I do the typecasting. So it will return me the number which are greater than 18. If I run this, it give the number 20, 45, 67, and 70, because these all are the number greater than 18. Same as less. So I want to filter out the number in the second example case which are not divisible by 2. So what I did is the same thing, the list and filter, that I do the filter, I have to do a filter. So the lambda function is used to give a lambda expression. So that take one argument which is my x, and that give a expression. Expression is my always a condition. We call a condition as an expressions. So here that I do is x divisible by 2 not equal to 0. That is means that our return the odd object. So again, in the last, I taken our object which is our li. Li means that our elements which is contained in inside the list elements. Then I create a filter, lambda filter. Then I convert the lambda object to the list object. Then again print the filter list which is our variable. If I print this, it will return me the number which are not divisible by 2. Alright, so I can also initialize these values. And the next is are called map function. So the map function in Python takes in a function and a list as an argument, as like filter function, the the map function is called with the lambda function and a list, and new list is returned which contain all the lambda modified item written by the function for each item. So for example, the map function that takes individually the items which is inside the list or tuple, etc. But here is an example. I say I have the list, so it contains the multiple elements, and I want to multiply with the 2. So here the map function take individual items. So from 4 5 6 to the last element, which is our 60. So what I did is, so always take in lambda function any number argument, but here I take only one argument, which is our x, and x multiply of 2. It told you that our expression only give a condition, which is our condition is x multiply with 2, and that take the object, which is our li2, means that our this one, this is my our variable which contain the this elements. This is our object, and here I did is map function, because that map function take individual items of a given expression. Then I convert the lambda object to the list. Here I do a typecasting. Alright, so I can print the final list 2, which is our this variable. If I run this, it will give me the number which is a multiply with 2, with the elements are multiplied with 2. So 4 multiplied with 2, 8, 5 multiplied with 2, the 10, 6 multiplied with 2, the 12, up to 60 multiplied with 2, with the number is 120. Alright. So the next example, which is our animals, is my variable that contain the multiple number of elements inside the list, and the elements are dog, cat, rabbit, horse, and monkey. So if I do, let's say, I want to convert these elements as an uppercase. As I know that, as we know that we can use the uppercase using the upper keyword, but only a given string. But if we have to do a multiple elements uh, one time, then you have to use the lambda function here, so that takes the map function individual items inside the list. So here I took an animal. Animals is our object, which is our list, and that take as object, and that take an argument, which is our animal, and that take an expression, which is our, as I told you that only given a single expression, but that take any number of arguments. But here give a one argument, but take only one expression. And the expression is our logic, which is our take the animal, and animals is our object, which is our animal, and our convert to the upper and as a string format. So if I will convert again the lambda object to the list object, if I print, you return the every individual items or individual elements to the uppercase. If I run this, it will give me the only uppercase dog, cat, rabbit, horse, monkey, the all of the uppercase. So similarly, if I do the same things, then let's say x is my variable and that contain the parrot, and x1 equal x upper. That means I convert to the these elements, this string, to the uppercase, so I can do only sync that parrot. But if I do just like this inside the list, if I run this, it will give me an error, because list object no attribute upper, but that upper keyword does not support with the list element. But I can do the same things with our lambda function with the uppercase. So that's why we use the lambda function as a map function to iterate over each and every element inside the list. So this is the benefit of using the map function. And let's talk about the reduce function. A reduce function in Python takes in a function and list an argument, same like map and filter. The but the reduce function is called with a lambda function and iterable, and a new reduce result is returned. This performs a repetitive operation over the pair of the iterable. The reduce function belongs to the functool modulo. So we can import the reduce function using the functool modulo. I will later discuss about the modulo packages in Python, but know that this should be input using the functool modulo. So here I import the functional module, and that how the reduce function is work, just like they say that will first take two argument, and the next argument will be 6, and next argument 7, and next argument 10, and that only calculation between the first two, then it will calculation next one, and it will be next iteration will be next one and up to the last element. So for example, so here that I have a list that is contain the multiple elements, which is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10, and this is my variable li3, and that takes is an object here inside the lambda function, and here that I took that two arguments, as I told you that the reduce function that first take the two arguments, and that return only one expression, and expression is or x plus y. So as I told you that the first take the between the two arguments for 5, and that will be do the summation up to the last element, which is 10. So if I will summation 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 10, just like this, if I run this, it will give me the output as a 32, because that take the number iterable up to the last element. All right, and next example, that my li4 is my variable, and that take the list, and the list element which is 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 2, and 1. And what I did is that let me first give an example with this print function in the second line, that take this object is li4 in the last, and that takes the two arguments. It told you that reduce function always take the two arguments, which is my a and b, and that return the only given expression, and the expression is our my his one, and that expression that contain only a logical statement. And here my logical statement is that if a is greater than b, so what I am figuring out that inside this list, that I am figuring out that which element is the biggest number. So here I give a logic: if a is greater than b, then it will return me the a, else it will return me the b. So for example, it will compare between the two elements, that is 4 and 5. So if between the two elements, the it will compare between 4 and 5. If between the two number, if any number is bigger, then that will be my a. So again, the next will be iteration between 5 and 7, 6, and which number will be uh, bigger, that is 5 and 6, it will return me the biggest element, and again this between the 6 and 7 return me the biggest element, which is 7, and 7 to 10 it return me the biggest element, which is 10, and 10 to 2 and return me the same, and that will be return between the biggest element between the 10 and 2, and again we will compare between the 10 and 1, because 2 is my smallest number between 10 and 2. So here in the compare between 10 and 1, and the biggest number will be 10, and that will be returned as an a, and the maximum number will be or 10. If I run this, return with the output as the maximum element of this list is 10, because that iteration between the two element, and as I return the two that arguments, because the reduce function that only takes the two arguments. All right. So in this session, we discuss about lambda function and lambda built-in function like map, filter, and reduce function with examples. Later on, we'll discuss about the more advanced topic with lambda function.